My belief.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? People ain't gonna like that. I mean, you might disagree with that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, no.
Yo.
We got Levi's why
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
Are relationships bad for your image? If we look historically within Hollywood, within rap music or just music, the music industry as a whole, historically, I'll speak about on the man's side and then I'll go to the woman's side. As a man, it was frowned upon to be in a relationship. It was legit.
I remember those days.
Frowned upon.
It was like, are you dating anybody?
They had,
yeah, we cool.
Bro, they had to deny. Bro, they could have just gotten married. Paparazzi the TMZ snuck into the wedding, caught a picture of them getting married, and then they got interviewed a week later. Hey, how was the marriage? How was the wedding? They would be like, nah, I ain't getting married. What are you talking about? I'm single.
I remember those days.
They had to literally take it to the grave, right?
Real
And
talk,
so
real talk.
on the women's standpoint as well, the women had to act like they weren't in a relationship either because back in the day, there was this weird concept, and I guess I understood it from a marketing standpoint where men had to act desirable, and so did the women. And being in a relationship kind of was the anti of that in a sense. Fast forward to now, things have changed. We know that wholeheartedly. Everybody's in a relationship. Matter of fact, it's encouraged for you to be in a relationship. Matter of fact, the people who are single look weird, right? Like, and it's now flipped on top of on people's head, right? And so I could think of certain people, and I'll throw a couple names out there. Nicki Minaj, she's in a relationship. The question is, are relationships bad for your image? And if I'm answering that exact question, I would say it depends on who you're with. Because the reverse has happened with Nicki. Although it's been sort of acceptable for everybody to be in a relationship now, it does matter who you get with. It might hold your image back, right? And I think that's what's happening with Nicki Minaj versus let's say a Beyonce. You're with somebody who's super successful, Jay-Z.
Oh, Nicki Minaj
right?
you're saying her relationship is holding her back.
Her image, I think, is holding her image back. That's my belief.
Oh.
My belief.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? People ain't gonna like that. I mean, you might disagree with that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
that's how I feel.
I get you.
So what do you think? I mean, can you think of a couple of examples of people who image has been held back or even have been propelled based on a relationship?
Elevated. So recently, as you guys can all see, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are, together, and you're seeing them every single second at football games, and they're very open with it at this point, right? And I'm wondering, does it help? I know it helps Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is a superstar. He's probably making the most money he's ever made before. Travis Kelce's that guy now. But is it helping Taylor Swift? So for me, I think right now it is elevating Taylor Swift a little bit. She's a talk of the town. But I think it really matters how it ends, if it ends. Like, if we find out that Travis Kelce, decided to call it quits with her, or she decided to call it quits to Travis Kelce, will people turn on her? What would that look like for her career? Then I'm just also thinking about the hip hop side of things. You brought up Nicki Minaj. Nicki also had a relationship with Meek Mill. And remember, that relationship with Meek Mill was toxic. It forced Nicki Minaj to go against Drake at the time. Remember that? Drake and Meek Mill were beefing, and she was in the middle of it. Did it help? I don't think it did anything for Nicki Minaj, but it hurt Meek. That relationship hurt Meek a little bit. Even though you're saying people are in relationships more than ever now. Yeah. I do feel like you don't hear about it as much anymore. Like, it's kind of like low key. Like Ice Spice, we don't hear about Ice Spice. Ice Spice is dating somebody apparently, but like we don't have absolutely no clue who that person is.
Is she?
I didn't even know that was the case. It's as laid back. I just find it interesting. Should rappers and musicians get into relationships more? Like, should they follow the model that Taylor Swift has done with Travis Kelce? You think will that elevate their brand? Is that a smart thing to do?
Okay, so now I got to wear the hat of like a somebody on strategy. Like, let's say I was a strategic person for a rapper. Yeah, I think it helps you to get with. I'll give a perfect example. Look at Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo, obviously he was a lit rapper. We get it. All these years, had some dope songs, great songs, always kept a hit. The moment he got with Ari, it actually boosted his profile in his world, in her world. Now he's on the Shade Room. Now he's in a different echelon when it comes to his notoriety. And I think that's what relationships do. Think another example. Look at A$AP Rocky. Bro, A$AP Rocky historically been, I would call him an underground, overground rapper. Like, he's one of them people who got,
I know, right?
He one of the people who got like his,
I know, right?
one leg in one area and the other leg in the other. But my point is, he gets with Rihanna. He's out of here.
Has it though?
Bro, he's out of here. You know why he's out of here? Because if you go watch the E! Newses, the people who cover Rihanna,
that's true. That's
the
true.
pop world, they now know who he is. That actually helps him from a, I guess, business standpoint. It don't help his rap career.
But you know the thing,
it don't help his rap career, but it helps his profile.
It helps his profile. But you know the interesting thing is, what if it goes wrong? You know what I mean? What if they start to see you as this person's boyfriend? Is it like Jay-Z, right? Young kids, a lot of young kids I talk to say, I only know Jay-Z as Beyonce's boyfriend.
Right.
That got him money and all that because they're, you know, like you said, you're on E! News and all that stuff. But do you want that to just be known as somebody's boyfriend? If you're a rapper? I think this convo we're having, we're having, I think is difficult to talk between me and you. Yeah. But I do think this is going to be one that, like, I want to see what the comments, because, you know, a lot of the people that are on our IG and YouTube and stuff are musicians. I am curious to know, like, if you're in a relationship, are you flaunting that relationship? Are you not afraid to flaunt it, knowing that it can go awry and then suddenly it's like, yo, okay.
You know, more importantly,
we're not rocking with this guy anymore because he was rocking with her, and we, you know, now that he did her dirty, you know, we don't want.
Man, listen, F music. Take this to the real world. You know how many people don't flaunt that they in a relationship?
I know.
Right? Like, they in a full blown relationship, and they got kids, but yet they go to the club and they acting single as a mother.
That's true.
They don't want the world to know. It's all part of your brand. Like, people sometimes look at it like a knot. There might be somebody who's just not ready.
So you don't think it's a knot?
I think it depends. I swear. You know, because I promise you, bro, I really think, like, some of these rappers and artists and musicians and people in Hollywood, they really moving strategic. It's like they can be in a whole relationship, but at the same time, it might not be good for business.
It might be good for business.
Is it good for business? And I think
that's such a good.
Unfortunately,
that's such a good question.
The people who are involved in these relationships, if you're the one who's not the notable one, imagine having to tell your significant other, listen, hey, I don't know if I can flaunt you. It ain't good for business. How does that person feel? Woo! What does that do to the person?
I want to hear comments.
Can that person handle that?
Out. Could you take being told I cannot flaunt you because it doesn't work with my
That's
rapper?
A hell of a question, bro.
I know that conversation has been had. I know that it's been had. I've seen it on hip-hop television shows.
What about you guys? You know, drop your thoughts in the comments. You know, are relationships bad for your image, or can they be good for your image? We want to know what y'all think.
Listen to the full episode. Link below.